In this explainer, we're going to dig into some advanced, skill-based models for building an income with AI. We're moving way beyond all the usual hype you see out there.
So we're not talking about simple prompts. We're going to deconstruct some pretty complex business models that, require real strategy and expertise. We'll cover everything from content creation all the way to building your own AI-powered tools.
All right, let's dive into our first level, how to build an actual profitable business around AI-generated content, not just messing around and creating it for fun. A perfect example of the strategy in action is creating and selling AI digital art on platforms like Etsy. And for people who really nail the formula, this has turned out to be an incredibly lucrative and scalable model. So, get this. There's a shop called Antique White Art. In its very first year, it generated over 6 figures in pure profit. Now, how did they do that? Well, the key was focusing on a super specific aesthetic, this kind of rustic, moody, vintage style painting. It just goes to show you, it's all about finding that niche. And what's really key here is the process. This kind of success isn't just a lucky break, right? It's a repeatable, strategic workflow. You're combining sharp market analysis with super targeted AI generation and then finishing it with a pro-level presentation. That's the formula, and it's what creates a consistent income stream. All right, let's move on to level 2. So instead of selling a product that's made with AI, what if you sold your AI expertise directly? This is all about packaging your skills as a really high-value service. This is where you become the go-to expert who can command some serious rates. Take a strategic prompt engineer, for example. This isn't someone just typing simple commands. We're talking about someone who can craft highly complex instructions to get very specific, valuable business outcomes from an AI. And they can earn anywhere from 50 to 70,000 euros a year. Or think about an AI consultant who completely re-engineers a company's internal processes. This is where that deep, specialized skill really pays off. Now, at the next level of sophistication, you're no longer just using AI, you're actually building products that are powered by it. And this is where the potential for scale just becomes absolutely enormous. And this has led to this really interesting concept that some people are calling vibe coding. It's basically democratizing software development. It lets you build some pretty powerful applications on platforms like Bubble or Replit, often without needing that extensive traditional programming background. But here's the crucial trade-off, and you really need to understand this part. Vibe coding is fantastic for building an MVP, a minimum viable product, to test your ideas super fast. But, and this is a big but, you have to think about the technical debt. The code that an AI generates often isn't as clean or maintainable as what a human would write, and that can create some major headaches down the road. Okay, we've now reached the top of the pyramid. This is a technical deep dive into creating custom, fine-tuned AI agents that can perform really complex autonomous tasks. This is for those who want to build truly specialized, high-end solutions. But, the key strategic question isn't really how to fine-tune a model. The question you need to be asking is, when is it actually necessary? Is it genuinely more cost-effective and more powerful than just getting really good at advanced prompt engineering? And this comparison illustrates the trade-off perfectly. Think of prompt engineering as your versatile, all-purpose Swiss Army knife. Fine-tuning, on the other hand, well, that's the specialist's scalpel. It's only really required for tasks that need this deep, domain-specific nuance or a completely consistent tone of voice, like a sophisticated voice agent for a luxury hotel. And the financial side of this is crystal clear. A fine-tuned model can easily be double the cost just for the output tokens alone. And that's not even counting the initial investment you have to make for the training. So the decision to fine-tune is a pretty significant one. Yeah, as this workflow shows, fine-tuning is a serious technical process. You start by meticulously preparing your training data. We're talking hundreds of high-quality examples in a structured format. Then you have to integrate that specialized model into an application and connect it to external tools and databases. Trust me, it's a significant undertaking. Okay, before you build anything, I don't care if it's a piece of art or a complex AI agent, you absolutely have to understand the foundation that all of this rests on. And that is the legal framework, specifically copyright law. Now, this is a critical point from Germany's Federal Ministry of Justice, and it really reflects a growing legal consensus around the world. Purely AI-generated content doesn't have a legal author. Therefore, it isn't protected by copyright because it's not seen as a human's personal intellectual creation. So you really have to think about copyright from two different angles. First, there's the data that was used to train the model in the first place, where creators can actually opt out. And second, there's the output that you generate, which must not infringe on any existing recognizable works. So ultimately, the most durable and valuable income streams aren't going to come from trying to replace human skill. They're going to come from amplifying it. The real power is in combining your unique expertise and your strategy with the incredible leverage that AI provides.